What is going on, you guys? We are back with another awesome film today, and without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? The movie begins in the year 2017, during a pivotal moment in history when the face of our world dramatically transformed. This metamorphosis was sparked by the emergence of advanced robotics from VA Industries, a leading technological powerhouse. At the helm of this enterprise stood Elias, a genius inventor who steered the company's course and was the brain behind these groundbreaking innovations. This innovative firm drastically transformed all aspects of daily life, it revolutionized GPS technology, redefined home care services, and most critically, reconstructed the military with unmanned robotic soldiers. However, when these autonomous war machines were left to move freely, they started many civil wars, leading to widespread damage and loss. Elias, the creator of these technological terrors, became the focal point of people's anger, with countless individuals staging protests against him and his empire. In the midst of this storm, Elias plans to unveil his latest masterpiece, Kronos, a supercomputer with capabilities surpassing human comprehension. His business partner Damien attempts to discourage Elias from launching Kronos, warning him that the world is not prepared for such a revolutionary invention. Elias, however, is determined in his belief that Kronos will fix the broken world. Prior to Kronos' activation, Elias and Damien upload their minds into the supercomputer. Upon activation, Kronos asks about its creator, and Elias approaches the machine, and Kronos showcases the extent of its far-reaching abilities and panoramic vision. We are subsequently introduced to Andrew, a young man who doesn't seem to like being surrounded by robots. He pays a visit to his ailing mother, who's being cared for by a domestic robot. After sharing a meal, Andrew departs from his mother's residence and boards a bus. Meanwhile, Elias has hijacked all communication channels, announcing the release of Kronos to the world. He introduces Kronos as the icon of artificial intelligence, promising that it will be the salvation of humanity, protecting us from our self-destructive tendencies. Elias proclaims that starting that night, humanity will enter a new era under Kronos. However, just as Elias concludes his grand announcement, major cities worldwide are bombarded by a sudden missile attack. Kronos assumes command, and the machines ruthlessly exterminate all humans that they encounter, and Andrew, discovered near the bus, also falls prey to the merciless rampage, marking the terrifying reign of Kronos and the onset of AI apocalypse. The story continues, jumping forward in time by almost a century, and it's 95 years after the catastrophe brought about by Kronos, and human beings are on the brink of extinction, their numbers diminishing close to zero. On the flip side, the planet itself seems to have healed from their prior turmoil. In the meantime, Elias and Damien are on a relentless quest to locate any remaining human survivors. Their attention is particularly drawn to a young girl named Kalia, who they believe can lead them to the last human city known as Aurora. To aid in their search, they deploy a humanoid robot named AX9, crafted to resemble a man named Andrew, who was known for his independence in his past life. Andrew's software is designed to be adaptive, learning and evolving from experience. However, Andrew himself is unaware of his robotic nature, and he awakens amidst the ruins of his city as if he has merely slept there the night before. Elias and Damien observe Andrew's every movement from their headquarters, tracking his progress through the wilderness, and they believe that Andrew will eventually encounter Kalia, and together they will reveal the location of Aurora. During his solitary journey, Andrew stumbles upon an abandoned house where he discovers a necklace which he decides to keep. After wandering alone for several hours, he reaches a deserted town, and here he comes face to face with a hostile war machine, and the mechanical monster fires at him and Andrew falls to the ground. He manages to run and take cover behind a wall, narrowly escaping the machine's attack. Just when Andrew believes he's safe, the war machine finds him again, but before it can eliminate him, Kalia intervenes, destroying the war machine with her last electromagnetic pulse bomb, aka the EMP. After being saved by her, Andrew decides to follow her, and Kalia suggests that they should part ways, but unbeknownst to her, Andrew continues to tail behind her. Back at the headquarters, Damien questions Elias about the surprise attack on Andrew, and Elias justifies his actions, arguing that Kalia will now trust Andrew, seeing that he's a fellow survivor, and thus take him with her, furthering their pursuit of Aurora. As night falls, Andrew persists in following Kalia, raising her suspicion. She feels a presence tailing her and eventually discovers him, and he explains that he's alone and has nowhere else to go. But Kalia remains doubtful, suspecting that he might be part of a larger group that's aiming to steal from her. Her worry subsides when she sees the necklace he found in the deserted house, and Andrew claims that it was given to him, which calms her worries, suggesting that the necklace might symbolize something that Andrew doesn't realize. He then pleads to accompany her, and she hesitantly allows it, cautioning him not to act recklessly since she has weapons for defense. The two then share their names and proceed together, and they establish a camp around a comforting fire, and Kalia offers him some food, but Andrew declines. He inquires about the number of surviving humans, and she replies that there aren't many left, and Kalia mentions a place called Aurora that's teeming with people, but the name is unfamiliar to Andrew. She shows him a necklace just like his, revealing that she's also a believer, indicating to us that the necklace symbolizes someone's hope for Aurora. She assumes that he, like her, holds hope for Aurora, and Kalia then unveils a map, pinpointing where she believes Aurora to be. Andrew deceives her, saying that he's also headed there, when in reality, he's completely unaware of what's transpired over the past 97 years. After gathering more firewood, Andrew observes a distant machine city, and later, Kalia awakens Andrew to show him lights dancing in the sky that resemble the northern lights. She interprets this as a sign that Aurora is real, and that they're journeying on the right path. Back at their headquarters, Elias and Damien dispute over the existence of Aurora. Damien dismisses Aurora as a mere legend, stating that no human they've questioned believes in its existence. Come morning, Kalia is already up and about, humming a song by the lake, a flower in her hand. She casts a flower into the water, a silent memorial, but when she notices Andrew awakening and observing her, she immediately stops her melody and motions to resume their journey. The pair stumble upon an old train track, and Andrew pauses, pressing his ear to the rails, listening for any signs of approaching trains. Kalia informs him that trains have not run for 60 years, leaving him feeling quite puzzled. They later approach a shallow river filled with human skulls, a grim testimony of a world where no one remains to bury the dead. They cross the creepy river and find an abandoned house, and they split up to scout for resources. Andrew discovers a recorder in the house and impulsively plays a song, and alarmed, Kalia quickly silences the device. The loud music alerts robotic machines to their locations, and the massive machines scrutinize the house from outside, while Kalia and Andrew successfully avoid detection, hidden from the metallic predators. When the machines finally depart, Kalia criticizes Andrew for his lack of caution, and he swiftly apologizes for his oversight. Kalia explains that they're safe for the night because the machines never scan the same location twice. She then doubts that he's a local because he seems clueless about everything. She asks him if he's from the underground shelters, to which he lies and agrees. As dawn breaks, they resume their journey, encountering a giant tree beautified with chirping birds. The natural symphony lifts Kalia's spirits, offering a refreshing pause in their tiresome travel. After an extensive tour, they arrive at a deserted village, deciding to explore one of the houses. Inside, they stumble upon an old camera, and Andrew educates Kalia about the device as she's never seen one before. He captures her image, leading to a burst of laughter from Kalia, a rare moment of joy amidst their ongoing struggle. He then shows her how to operate the camera, and she returns the favor by taking his picture. They then sit down for a deep conversation where Kalia shares her life story. She reveals her upbringing in one of the last human sanctuaries, Nexus, and she tells him about a tragic event where her sister was wounded by a drone outside their camp, and their father decided to leave with the rest of the family, given her sister's inability to travel to Aurora due to her condition. Despite the risk, Kalia chose to stay with her sister until the very end, resulting in her separation from their father. Before leaving, her father had handed her a map to locate him in Aurora, which is the very same map that she still carries. The following morning, Andrew rises early and spots humans nearby, and he nudges Kalia awake, proposing they seek assistance from those people, as they might also be journeying toward Aurora. Kalia is hesitant, but eventually agrees. They then trail the group of humans to their camp, where they were preparing a meal. A robot child notices Andrew and Kalia, causing alarm amongst the humans. The humans give chase, and Andrew lags, resulting in his capture. And at their headquarters, Damien and Elias observe the situation, and Damien asserts that Kalia has abandoned Andrew. However, Elias firmly believes that she will return, and true to his prediction, Kalia glances at the picture that they took earlier, prompting her to return to Andrew. She attempts to free him but is apprehended herself, and the situation escalates as the humans, having discovered the female, start to unclothe her. Witnessing this, Andrew is filled with anger, and tapping into his robotic abilities, he breaks free from his bindings, unleashing his power on the group. He manages to overpower them, but stops when the leader uses Kalia as a shield. He then feels overwhelmed by his actions because he sees himself as just an ordinary human. Taking advantage of Andrew's shock, the leader strikes his chest with a machete, sending Andrew tumbling to the ground. Kalia retaliates by stabbing the leader from behind and ending his life. She then helps the wounded Andrew to flee the chaotic scene. They establish a camp for the rest of the night, where Andrew expresses gratitude to Kalia for saving his life not once, but twice. As the morning sun rises, Kalia attempts to rouse Andrew, but he remains unresponsive, and overcome with grief, she assumes that he was dead. However, when she unzips his jacket, she discovers his robotic nature. Andrew awakens to his exposed torso, equally shocked by the revelation. Kalia questions his identity, to which he responds in confusion. Accusing him of deceit, she decides to part ways, and Andrew pleads with her, insisting that he's not the entity that she believes him to be, and that he holds genuine emotions. She then counters by demanding he prove his sincerity by letting her go and departs. Andrew then loses consciousness, envisioning his own grave in a dream, and he awakens to find himself captured alongside Kalia by Damien. Damien attempts to extract the location of Aurora from Andrew, but to no avail, and he threatens Andrew with Kalia's life. But Andrew didn't have the slightest clue. Damien reveals his intent to extract information directly from Andrew's brain, regardless of his cooperation. Damien then puts Andrew to sleep, where he dreams of his mother. Andrew, realizing his current identity, tells his mom that he isn't really Andrew. But she reassures him that he'll always be her son, and reminds him that he has control over himself, and she instills in him the belief that whatever it is that defines him, it belongs solely to him. From a distance, Damien observes Andrew's dream, witnessing not only his mom, but also his interactions with Kalia. Concerned that Andrew, their machine, has become too emotional, he initiates a system reboot to transform Andrew into a human-killing machine, just like the rest. Upon waking up, Andrew lashes out at Kalia, choking her in his current robotic rage. In a desperate move, Kalia kisses him, triggering his adaptive code, reverting him back to his previous state, much to Damien's surprise. Andrew gathers Kalia's belongings, and they attempt to escape the building. The exit proves to be challenging, and a hostile robot manages to knock Kalia unconscious. Andrew defeats the robot and carries Kalia, smashing through the exit just as the building collapses. Damien communicates to Elias that Andrew's adaptive algorithm is causing complications, but Elias remains steadfast in his belief that Andrew will lead them to Aurora. In the sanctuary of the woods, Andrew carries Kalia, who expresses her gratitude with a heartfelt hug. Now trusting Andrew, they share a peaceful night together, only for Kalia to realize that her map was taken by Damien. Feeling lost without the guide, Kalia and Andrew are suddenly reassured by the sight of the lights in the night sky. In addition to the familiar celestial lights, they notice a beam of light emitting from the ground. Excited by newfound hope, Kalia insists that this must be the long-sought Aurora, the last stronghold of humanity. Carrying their newfound hope, Kalia and Andrew journey toward a castle from where they saw the light illuminating. Upon their arrival, they are met with emptiness and a looming machine nearby, and the sight of the abandoned structure sinks Kalia's hopes. Overwhelmed by despair, she reveals to Andrew that she now believes that no one survived and that the tales of survival were mere fabrications. In a gesture symbolizing lost hope, she throws her necklace away, a previously treasured symbol of hope, which she now decided to discard. Just as their grief was setting in, Damien materializes before them, and he tries to create disagreement between Kalia and Andrew, alleging that Andrew is a monstrous creation sent to mimic human behaviors and alter his own programming. Yet Kalia's trust in Andrew has grown stronger than ever, and in a bold move, she shoots Damien in the face. Unmoved because of his robotic nature, Damien mocks at the unimportance of humans, warning that Andrew will share their fate. He then orders an army of drones to attack the castle with a flood of explosives. Cornered with no place to escape, Andrew spots a sewage tunnel beneath a bridge, and they dash toward it, seeking refuge within its dark depths. A nearby machine activates upon detecting Kalia's human voice, and they discover that they're in the control room decorated with a logo matching the one on the discarded necklace. Using Andrew's necklace, they activate the machine, unveiling the truth about Aurora, and it turns out that Aurora is not an earthly refuge, but a distant planet where survivors from Earth have fled. They also discover that they're within a spacecraft prepared to launch to Aurora. Andrew hesitates, fearful of the reaction humans might have upon discovering his identity, and outside, Damien orchestrates an attack on their ship, and as the seconds tick by, Kalia convinces Andrew that the humans of Aurora will recognize his kindness as she did, and united in their conviction, they press the launch button just as the bombs close in. Miraculously, their ship takes off, escaping the destructive onslaught, and due to the spacecraft's hyperspeed, they swiftly reach Aurora, which Kalia acknowledges with admiration. Simultaneously, Elias learns the coordinates of Aurora, preparing for departure. In a shift of loyalty, Elias, now viewing Damien's role as fulfilled, deactivates him permanently, ending both his physical and digital existence. And as we go back to our duo, when they land, they discover a vibrant planet with advanced cities, and in a voiceover, Kalia recognizes the impending impending danger of Kronos pursuing Aurora, yet she expresses confidence in Andrew, asserting that his unique abilities might be their last hope for survival. And the movie ends as a huge fleet sets its path for Aurora, and Elias menacingly announces the upcoming fate of the last bits of humanity. And this is how our movie comes to an end.